I sense God shaking us up when our hearts are realigned to God's very own. I see God shaking us up when the movers and shakers and policymakers in our town all start seeing a shared vision of hope for our city, for our neighbors. God is on the move in the neighborhood to fling the doors of possibility wide open. You know, more than 18 years ago, God opened the door of the churches in our town to do a new thing that we call Micah. Sometimes being Micah can shake us up a bit, cause us to stretch in ways that are less than comfortable, to reorganize how we come alongside and serve with neighbors and one another. Because let's get real, we all just want to stay in our little bitty church bubbles, don't we? To see hope and healing in places and people we thought were beyond repair, including ourselves. This work invites us to be transformed so that we can rise up to new life. God's been shaking things up in our city. And the Micah clergy, we've seen an open Thora, an open door, a new possibility for how we can be an Easter people together. A people who trust that God can shake us up in order that we rise up. Yeah. This new community is called Jeremiah Community. I want you to listen real close. I didn't come up with these words. Megan Cotter did. Jeremiah Community is a neighborhood, a place where neighbors can live affordably, have purpose and support, and grow meaningful relationships. That sounds like a Jesus thing. So we are inviting you to learn more about Jeremiah Community, to talk about it with your pastors. Visit the Micah website. Will you pray about it? Ooh, little vibrations right there. Any prayer warriors in the room? Will you pray about Jeremiah Community? Will you generate a buzz by telling your friends and neighbors about how God is doing a new thing right here in your city in Fredericksburg? I felt some vibrations, some foreshocks of the Jeremiah Community on February 24th during the coldest night of the year walk that raised more than some $160,000 for Micah. It woke me up to what can be possible when God calls us all to come together to serve neighbor. I saw that open door of possibility, of new life for our city, our churches, our neighbors with Jeremiah. So on this early Easter morning, I'm here to tell you that God is still the God of open doors and resurrection. God is still creating favorable conditions for accessing new possibilities. God is shaking us up that we might rise up into his vision of new life. The question is, how? How will we rise up together? Amen.
As Pastor Ann has shared with you all this morning, working together as Micah Ministries has allowed our downtown churches to do more together than we could ever do apart for 18 years now. As executive servant leader of Micah, I get to see every day how the people who thought their tomb was sealed for good come alive again when God's people relentlessly pursue their hope and healing. Each time our unhoused neighbors break free from that suffering, each time someone defeats the narrative that all hope is gone, this community bears witness to a resurrection. Jesus' death and resurrection is about joining us in our suffering so that whatever we face is not alone, but in our oneness with God, in God's desire for us to lead a flourishing life. It is our conviction to seek that flourishing life for neighbor. It is no accident that our 2 decades of work together has led us not just to seek community, but to be a community. And someday soon, we're going to welcome the Easter sunrise over our neighborhood of small homes, the Jeremiah community, where, as you've heard this morning, our neighbors who have lived on the street will have affordable rent, purpose, and meaningful relationships. It's going to take our sacrifices given because of the sacrifice made for us to make this happen. So I want to invite you this morning to prayerfully consider what that sacrifice means to you and how the gifts you place in the offering plate this morning might roll the stone away each and every day.